Hey guys, sorry. Hubby's trying to figure this out. We were having technical difficulties, fortunately. Can y'all hear me? Oh. Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello? Hey, Tamika, how's it going? Hey, Julia. Why is all this on?
To see,
Oh.
you can see how.
Oh. Hi, Athena. Hi, Devon. Hey, guys. No, I don't like all that stuff on there. That just is distracting or something. I don't know. I don't know how you had it before. Hey, Leah. I'm good, Tamika. How are you, honey? Hi, hubby.
Hello, Tamika. Audio bitstream.
Yeah, I don't like all that crap on there. That's like distracting. Got all this stuff up on the screen that I don't even understand half the stuff, so. Sorry, guys.
Why is the bit rate?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what the bit rate is. Who cares? Who cares about the bit rate? I don't care.
Okay, let me.
Oh my god, don't hit that.
Let me. They can't see what's on here.
No, I'm saying don't hit cancel. Like you're gonna close it. I mean, I don't know, of course. You'll probably know that stuff. I don't know that crap, but
I can't change it now anyway because we're live. We'll just run with it.
Okay, yeah, I can see there.
Is this what you like better?
Yeah, just leave it like that. Yes, my son is doing better. So apparently last Friday, he hadn't been feeling good, prior to that. And I took him to the emergency room and they said that he had like pulled his abdominal wall muscles. And he was like, okay. Because he had been lifting that day and he has like a small inguinal hernia, but it's really tiny. So the ER said, oh, it's probably just, you just pulled your abdominal walls when you were lifting or something. So he did okay, and it seemed like he was getting better. And then he called us like, I don't know, Friday, like at 1 o'clock or something, crying, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, crying hysterically that, Mom, something's wrong. I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do. So we got in our car and drove the half an hour out there and picked him up. Took him to the emergency room. And as it turns out, the first time he goes to the ER, they should have figured this out. But anyway, that's besides the point. So as it turns out, his lipase level was running high. And so they said, oh, this is pancreatitis. So he has pancreatitis, and so we had to get him on the special diet and all that. And he is doing better. He's back at work, back doing school, even though it's online. He's back to his classes. But it was just crazy. Like, my husband suffers from chronic pancreatitis and they have no idea why. So I was like, oh, great. The poor kid, man, he gets hit with all the bad juju medical stuff from his dad's side and my side. So poor kid. Hey, Ken. Okay, so Ken 1936, also known as Margaret, is a moderator. I asked her if she would help by moderating, because last week we just had like those losers that kept coming in saying, oh, you hate LGBTQ people. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't hate anybody. Like, I was like, they were just, we weren't even like talking anything about LGBTQ, and they just kept harassing us and harassing. Yeah. So I ain't got time for that this week. So, yeah. So Margaret's going to help like get rid of them when they're being morons. Yeah, it was, Leah, especially, they think it's because, so my son has like some mental health things going on that he's had going on. I mean, nothing serious, but he's been clean and sober for years. And so part of when he got clean and sober years ago, they discovered some mental health issues, some stuff with depression and stuff, which he doesn't like really have a problem with it today. But, he's always just continued to take the medication, even though it's been years. So they said that the medication that he's on can actually cause pancreatitis. So they think, because he's really healthy, like he works out and he eats healthy, so they think that's probably what's causing it, which, I mean, I'm so grateful for, because, like I said, he gets the crap side of my medical issues and hubby's medical issues. And so I was just like, oh, geez. When they said pancreatitis, I was like, okay, I'm so glad that's all it is. That, we can fix this. But then I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this kid does not need anything else, So if that's the case, he's supposed to go see his doctor, which ironically enough, they were going to have him come in on Friday. And then he's on hold for half an hour. They cut him off. He calls back and they're like, oh, no, you can't come in until next week. So something in like a half an hour period changed and they decided they couldn't see him. So I don't know. But he's going next week. So he's doing good, though. Okay, Ken, so I don't know either. I don't know. Like if somebody pops up, like if somebody's saying something really bad, to the right of them are like, I think 3 dots. And if you click on that, it'll say like remove comment or block user, So, but look, we're both learning, so we can both just kind of wing it. I'm not too worried about it tonight. I'm in a decent mood tonight, so even if they come in here and try to start harassing me, I'm good. So. I know, Julia. Tamika, I'm a whole lesbian. Yeah, I don't have, look, I'll say this. Anybody that knows me knows this. If you're a moron, you're a moron. I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you choose to sleep with. If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. If you're a decent person, you're a decent person. And I can pretty much tell if somebody's a decent person or a crappy person, So, yeah, but they were just, you missed it last week, Tamika. They were just coming in here and, and it was like 2 different names, but I think it was the same person. And they were just coming in here saying, oh, like, you hate LGBTQ people. Oh gosh, no one ever calls me. I don't even know that number. Wow, nobody ever calls me, unless I'm recording. No, they don't ever mow in my neighborhood unless I'm recording. And when I go into a store or when I'm about to check out, that's when my phone blows up and everybody that I know starts calling me. Yeah, never fails. Yeah, Ken, get them. Okay, you guys, so has everybody been having like a good week? Has it been a good week? I mean, I think this week has been a decent week on my end. Yeah, I've been good. My health has been good. I've got all my little potions and stuff over here going, so I'm all good. They always mow the grass when I'm recording, Margaret. Never fails. Never fails. Especially like the common areas in my neighborhood. Never fails. I'll get on camera and then the stupid landscaping company shows up, and they're offloading, 50 different lawnmowers and weed eaters. And I'm like, really? I'm trying to record here. Don't you see? So yeah, that always happens. Oh, lots of rain, huh? Scotland's having lots of rain. We had, oh my gosh, last night, downtown DC got like the horrible storm. It kind of like missed us because I'm real close to DC, but I'm not actually in DC. So we could, like, it was thundering and lightning, but it wasn't like bad here. Oh my gosh, the night before. Yeah, I was telling hubby, I haven't heard rolling thunder like that in quite a few years. I mean, especially like not around here. Like I've heard it when I've been in North Carolina or Florida. It's pretty common, for some reason at the ocean, I think the echo or whatever. But here, it was insane. I mean, it was insane. Like my tomato plants were all bent over. Like it was bad. I was like, what the heck? I mean, I thought for sure they were going to say there had been a tornado right here. But apparently not. I don't know. It was just crazy though. Hi, Tiki Tutu. How are ya? Hey. Leah, I will agree with you on that. This week, like okay, so hubby's working from home. All this COVID crap still going on. And so I am the type of person that, first of all, I love spending time with my husband, right? I mean, I love my husband. I love to be around him. So, of course, I love it when he works from home, because then I can be around him because with his job, he travels a lot. He goes to veterans administrations across the U.S. So, there was a point in time to where he was gone all the time. So it's nice to have him home now. They're not traveling right now and hopefully they won't be for a while. But anyway, but I tend to, because he's working from home now. So I'll hang out with him while he's working and I'll read or do whatever. But like I don't get any work done, right? So I told myself this week, okay, you're going to do this each day. You're going to answer your emails each day. You're going to do this each day. If you have readings, you're going to work on those. You're going to, do your connections. You're going to do, like I have everything like planned out. Yeah. Well, that didn't work. And a lot of it's me, some days I get like a lot of emails and, so yeah, and it's, trust me, people, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Please do not take it like that because I'm totally not complaining. But I have been getting like a lot of direct messages on Instagram and a lot of emails and a lot of comments to return, so I've been like really busy with people, commenting. And like on Instagram, I get a lot of people that DM me that, they need a reading. And like I've said before, if I feel like somebody really needs that, who am I to say no, right? So I get caught up in that and what the heck? Sorry, something just happened to the screen. When I get caught up in that, like, responding to a direct message on Instagram could take hours of my day, because I end up doing readings and then I want to know, do you have questions? Do you need this? Do you need it? Yeah. So that's just me. And so, yeah, I felt like I didn't get a lot of work done this week. I mean, I did. Trust me, I did get a lot done. But, here's the other thing. So we're painting the whole frickin' house, right? What was I thinking? So we've kind of like paused that right now. So I haven't like started on the spare bathroom. I haven't done any of that yet, right? So me being the moron that I am, my sister-in-law is like amazing at, she can take like, she's so talented. She can take a table and like, oh, I'll paint it this way and I'll cut the legs off and I'll do this and I'll do that. I mean, like she's incredible and she sells her work. That's like her little side hustle. So I said, you know what? I have like a butcher block microwave cart. I want to paint it. Like, I want it to look good because I'm tired of it looking bland, and I'm going to paint my cabinets in my kitchen. So I said, oh, I can paint it to where it like kind of ties in with the way my cabinets are going to be when I get them done, right? What was I thinking? So I spend an arm and a leg on the good paint, Dixie Belle, and I get everything, and I get started. Y'all, it's been a living HE double toothpicks. My sister-in-law was like, oh my God, it's so relaxing. You'll love it. Yeah, no. Yeah, so far, no, it's not too relaxing. And dumb me ordered more paint because I decided when I first started doing it that, oh, I'm good. So my dad has this, I have this corner hutch in my dining room that my dad made. You know, he's been gone for years. So it's like the one thing I have left, you know, that he crafted from his hands, you know. So I said, oh, I'm going to paint that. So like a moron, I order paint for that. So now, of course, I feel like I just wasted all this money on this paint and everything. Now I have to do it, right? I'm thinking, man, I'm telling you, that is not relaxing to me. I don't care what my sister-in-law says. Maybe it's relaxing to her, but it's just work to me. That's what it feels like. It feels, but look, even doing what I do for a living, that doesn't really feel like work to me. That's just me. That's just part of my life. It's part of how I am. Painting, y'all, that's work, and it sucks, and it's gut-wrenching. Yeah. Okay, let me get caught up here, guys. Sorry. Blabbering on. Aw, Ken, you're so cute. Oh, thanks, Seven. Is it Devon or Devon? Is it Devon? You know what, Ken? Let me tell you something. So I decided, oh, I got it all figured out, right? So I didn't prime. Because everybody said, oh, if you use chalk paint, you don't need to prime. So after like, I don't know, 4 coats of paint, it kept soaking in and soaking in. And I was like, heck on it. So I look it up, you know. I tried to sand it. That didn't work. Yeah, I should have primed this to begin with. So it's ended up taking me like, you know, and it's just like a little, it's like this big and, you know, like a little island thing on wheels. That's what it is, basically. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. That's true, Margaret. Maybe I don't know. I think maybe I'm going to finish this microwave cart and then maybe take a break. And maybe go paint my bathroom and my guest bedroom and all the other rooms I need to paint. Maybe that's what I'll do. That's what I should have done to begin with. I should have just stuck with that, you know, and knocked each room out, because I'm not just painting, you know, I'm patching and sanding and painting, you know, the trim and painting the ceiling, you know, so it ends up being like this major production. Like my office is 12 by 12, I think, or something. It's a small room. Forever. So the guest bathroom, I'm like, dear Lord, please, just don't let it take so long. I'm going to pray to God. I'm going to pray to Jesus. I'm going to pray to Buddha. I'm going to pray to anybody I can think of to give me strength to get it done quick. How about that?
You're taking a break from painting? No, you're gonna get me to paint. You can stop and start managing me.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Yeah, that's what I need to do, is make hubby do it. He's so right. Okay. Again, is it Devon? Okay, so the way to answer that is it's always been there. But when people ask me, like, when do you remember the first time that seeing there was something there, I was 8. Yeah, I was 8, but it's always been there. And like, I used to think that it's all I knew, right? So I assumed that my siblings had it. I assumed that my friends had it. And I remember one day hanging out with my little friend, and I saw something in front of her, and I pointed it out and said something about it. And of course, she looked at me like I had 10 heads, and she was like, "What are you talking about?" You know? Yeah. So, and then I went through a period of time in my life that I just didn't want to do it anymore. I think it was like, in my mind, it was like, I want control of me, so I'm just gonna like kick it to the curb. You know, I was a rebellious teenager, stupid, thought I knew everything. And I did get to a point to where I was able to stuff a lot of it. But I mean, it was still always there, you know? So, but I've gone through a couple of rough patches in my life that I kind of like. Now, I only stuffed it like in my teenage years. After that, I never like completely stuffed it or anything, but I did try not to be as impulsive with it and not to act on it as much. And then I realized after, I don't know, probably a year or two, I realized, well, who the heck am I? You know, I was given this gift. I'm supposed to use it to help others, you know, so who am I? You know, so if I walked into a store and I got, you know, something from Spirit to tell someone, you know, I would try to stuff it. And finally I was like, I can't do that. Like, you know, in good conscience, I can't do that, because I kind of look at it like there aren't a lot of us in this world that have these abilities. I know there are a lot of people that can read tarot, and there are a lot of numerologists and astrologists. And I'm not sliding that, you know, they have their gifts, I have mine, but I just feel like there are truly so few of us in this world that are able to do all these different things and have these gifts that it's like wrong, you know, not to use them. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, we need to be using them, you know? We need to teach like the next generation, you know? Okay, so it is Devon. Okay. And Devon, I'll probably ask you again next week if you come on here. Sorry. I can remember faces, but I'm horrible with names. Like, and you know what sucks is I used to not be horrible with names. I used to be really good with names. Like, I was, you know, I could go into a room full of people and remember everybody's name. Not anymore. Tiki Tutu, I feel your pain. Trust me. It's probably going to take me a long time to paint all 3 levels of my house. I have 3 levels, people. I don't even use the basement. I don't even use the bathroom in the basement, or the bedroom in the basement, or the family room in the basement, and killing me, y'all. But you know, I'm one of those type of people that I just can't go in halfway. So I'm like, oh, instead of just painting my office, taking my time and trying to enjoy it, I'm like, oh no, I gotta get this done, I gotta do this. And then I'm like, oh, I gotta do the rest of the house. Like, every room needs to be pretty, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a curse, y'all. Aw, Julia, you're welcome, girl. Yeah, CD Moss. I hate names. Like, I used to be so good at I can't even talk. Remembering people's names, and I can't. Tamika. Aw, thanks, Ken. Yeah, I'm blessed to have it. I mean, like I said, I've had times in my life where I felt like it was a curse. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've had times in my life when I fought, and at the time, I didn't know if I was fighting with God or Jesus or the universe, or I don't know who I was fighting with, but I was fighting about it. Like, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. I'm done. I'm out. But you really can't quit this. Like, it's not something you can just quit, and I'll tell you, honestly, I have friends to this day that have no clue that I have these gifts. Like, I got so good at, when I started realizing that everybody didn't have this, so people were looking at me funny, you know, I learned, okay, that's not anything I should put out there because then people are going to bully me. So, and trust me, I was, 5'10" in fourth grade. And I had a size 10, women's size 10 foot in fourth grade. Like, I was the size I am now in fourth grade. Okay. So it was bad enough. I towered over all the kids. And then on top of it, can you imagine the bullying? The bullying was really bad. It was really bad. Trust me. And then on top of it, if they knew the gifts that I had, could you imagine? And so I know a lot of them probably to this day think I was just weird, that I was talking to myself. I mean, there were times when I would catch myself like communicating with someone and then I would realize, oh crap, there are people around, So yeah, I'm sure all those twits that I went to school with probably all think I was just crazy, which I am, but Julia, that's a good question. It can be. Like, if you think about it, like, I generally use my gift, to help find people, whether they're alive or whether they passed, missing persons cases, sometimes murder cases, and that's like in my real life, outside of doing the YouTube videos. I mean, that's what I do. And if you are dealing with death every day, and let's face it, the majority, even when I'm doing the YouTube videos, connecting with spirits that have passed, when they're sitting there telling me like what happened to them, in a lot of cases, I can see what happened to them and I can feel it. I can either see and feel it or one or the other when I'm communicating with them. So when you're surrounded all the time with death, it kind of tends to get to you. You know what I mean? So I kind of have to, I think I've gotten it now to where, like, I think I forget a lot of stuff, and I know that's part of my defense mechanism to protect me, because if I held all that in all the time, I would probably go crazy. Like, I would just be so depressed all the time, and I'm really not a depressed person. I never really have been, even though I was bullied as a child. The bullying was really bad back then for me. And there were times that I cried myself to sleep. But I mean, come on, like, kids go through crap, kids are mean. But I don't consider myself like a depressed person. I could get there. I'm sure I could get there. But I don't know. I have something in me. Like my parents, I don't talk a lot about my parents, but they went through HE double toothpicks and back. They both had a disability, and that's how they met. And they had, kind of a rough life. I mean, but I never saw my parents like. My parents, they were never like, oh, woe is me, look at me, I'm disabled. They were never like that. So I think growing up with parents like that, it was kind of like, wow, who am I to be depressed when look at my mom and dad and all they've gone through, So yeah, so I just get through it, I've always gotten through it. True, Ken, very true. It's like, especially the mean ones. Like, I have no problem with spirits coming to me. And I have no problem stopping what I'm doing for them. It's when the negative spirits try to come through. Yeah, it's tough. That can be really hard. Especially when I feel like, because you're so vulnerable. So especially when it's somebody negative coming through, it's like, ooh, kind of scares you, I mean, I try not to let them see that, but it scares me sometimes. Yeah, Ken. So she said, you know, if you have this gift, spirits know that they can come talk to you. They flood in and try to talk at the same time. Yeah, definitely. They definitely do that. Through the years, I've finally been able to, like, I don't know, fine tune it to where I open myself up at certain times of the day to communicate. So whether I'm doing a YouTube video and I need to connect, or whether it's just a spirit trying to get through to me, I open myself up. And it is like that sometimes. Sometimes when I'm open, I could have 10 or 15 spirits coming through. And I once asked a spirit, like, how did you know you could communicate with me? Right? Because that was always like a question. I always wondered that. And he said, I don't know. It was the strangest thing. He said it was like, all of a sudden there was just like a light over you. And everybody just kind of knew. And I was like, weird. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you know. And I also have this thing. So there's a room, okay? And there are a lot of spirits, a lot of people that have passed in that room. And I think that the people in that room, I almost kind of feel like maybe that's like the in catechism, the Catholic faith, they believe in like purgatory, to where it's like a waiting, you go to a waiting space and then people pray for your soul and your salvation, and then you're able to go on to heaven or hell, I guess. Yeah, so I think that's this room. And so for a long time, I had the spirits in this room constantly bothering me. And it was hard because I can't have 30 people trying to talk to me at one time, you know what I mean? So it was really tough. But I have it now to where, like I said, I'm open at certain times and they can come to me. But yeah, I think that was like, that room is like purgatory. I don't know. Oh, took you to see? Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I had the height, and then I was overweight, you know, and then everybody thought I was crazy. So yeah. I'm so sorry for your oldest daughter. Yeah, knowing too much information. But see, that's the thing. Hubby will be like, oh, do you remember that case with blah, 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 blah? And I'll be like, no. So he can remember the cases if I talk to him about the spirits coming through. You know, like I'll share with him, like if spirits come to me, I'll share stuff, like that kind of stuff with him. When I do readings for people, you know, or anything like that, I don't share any of that stuff because, you know, I believe in like anonymity. But, you know, he remembers the cases and I don't. Sometimes I remember, like he'll say something and I'll remember. Hold on.
Hey, did we feed the animals?
No.
Okay, I'm
Oh
done.
my God. I just realized we didn't feed the animals. Poor things are probably starving. So, like, I'll remember, like, bits and pieces, you know, but, you know, he's, you know, and that's why I've started, like, writing down everything, you know, so when a spirit comes to me, I write everything down now, because there's no way, you know, if I don't say it to my hubby, then I would have no idea. I wouldn't remember it. So, yeah. Yeah, it is fun to, like, you know, I like communicating with spirits. I like saying, what about this? What about that? You know, and getting their perspective on things. Kind of cool. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, wow, you have healers in your family? That's awesome. That is so cool. Very cool. That's very cool. Once upon a time, I went to this church, and they had people there that were healers, that were capable of healing. And I can't remember, someone said to me, like, oh, you probably have that ability. And I was like, no, I don't think I do. Like, there's like, I think we all have our special gifts, and people have different things, So, yeah, that's amazing though. That would be an awesome gift to have. That would really be an awesome gift. Does everybody have a drink? I have my diet, or not diet, my unsweet tea. It's not Canada Dry Diet ginger ale, y'all. It's not the same. I don't know. I don't even know. I think I'm on I think I might be getting close to 2 months that I haven't had soda. Or I take that back. I haven't had diet ginger ale. I had a Diet Pepsi. I've had Diet Pepsi. But I don't buy Diet Pepsi, but if we go to, out to get something to eat or something, sometimes I'll have a Diet Pepsi, but I can't drink Diet Ginger Ale. I'm so addicted to it, I can't drink it. I love it too much. I would drink it 24/7. So instead of being healthy and drinking water and sweet tea. But it's better than nothing. Can't complain. At least I have water I can drink and tea I can drink. There are people out there that don't have that, so I'm not really complaining. I am, but I'm really not. Tamika, are you leaving? Oh, okay, I got it. I thought it said Tamika was leaving. I was like, what? Don't leave. Yeah. Oh, hey, Darlene. I don't think I said hi to you. How are you? Too much soda, yeah. Trust me, it's been hard, y'all, but I've lost 8 pounds and I'm trying. I think I messed my back up this week. I get up every morning and I've been doing every morning 7 miles on the exercise bike. Yeah. I haven't been out walking because, I don't know, it's been 100 freaking degrees here in the DC area. So it's been so hot, y'all. It's been hot to the point where I'm inside in the air conditioning and it's hot. That's how bad it's been. I get into my truck to go somewhere and it's like, ugh. And then I hurry up and I run in where I'm going so I can get to the AC. Run back out, turn the truck on, get the AC on, Oh my gosh, I'll just tell you. So, all right, so I just totally had to get out of the house this week. After being in this house for so long, I have to go do something. So I went to the Salvation Army thrift shop and I put my mask on and I walked myself right on in there and I found 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I found 4 t-shirts for me. They were 79 cents a piece. Can you believe that? And they were brand new. I found 3 shirts for hubby. They were 79 cents a piece. And then I went to the Goodwill and I found, so I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm a huge football fan. I love sports. So for baseball, the Washington Nationals, they're kind of like my backup team. So the Kansas City Royals, that's my team. And the Nats are like my backup team. But when I was younger, I loved the Orioles, right? So I found a Baltimore Orioles shirt with all the tags still on it. So it was an actual Major League Baseball shirt. The original price on it was $40 or $45. Yeah, maybe it was $45.99. I paid $3. $3. Then I found this other really cute, black and white shirt. Anyway, so the reason why I went to look was because I'm going to start doing, after I was just complaining about the painting and everything, I'm going to start I want to learn how to make homemade soap and homemade shampoo and deodorant. I want to do all that. I want to learn all that. So I needed to have an old pot, for the lye, for when you make soap. And you know, and I said, I don't want to screw up my, like, you know, my good pots and pans for my kitchen. So I was like, I'll go buy something secondhand. Well, of course, wouldn't you know it, I couldn't find any pots and pans. I couldn't find anything that I was looking for. So I went on Amazon and I like loaded my cart with all this stuff to make homemade deodorant and laundry detergent and shampoo and soap and all the stuff, right? To the tune of like, I don't know, $250 or something. Which, okay, if anybody that knows me, this is what I do. You ready? Ready? So rather than go out and spend a fortune on buying crap all the time that I don't have the room for, and it's just a waste of money, let me let you in on a little secret. So here's what I do. I'll go to, like, I don't know, a women's clothing store. I don't know. Let's say Lane Bryant, plus size clothes, right? I'll go on there and I'll say, ooh, those pants are cute and that shirt's cute. And I load them all over my cart. And then I never check out. I'm cheap. That's right. I don't care. I'm proud of it. So I put all this crap in my Amazon cart, right? And of course, wouldn't you know it, today hubby's like, I need to order this computer part from Amazon. It's not really his voice, but every time I mimic him, that's his voice. I was like, okay. So I said, tell me what it is so I can order it on Prime. So, of course, it was like 75 words long, right? God. And then I was like, oh my gosh, because what he wanted was like $150, right? And all the stuff I put in my cart was like close to $300. So I was like, oh my God. At the last second, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I was like, save for later, save for later, save for later. So yeah, I'm a cheapskate. What can I say? But there you go, darling. Frugal. There you go. Okay, let's see. I know, right? I love finding good deals. Like, I love going to garage sales and yard sales, but the problem is I don't have anybody to go with right now, other than hubby, which he'll happily go. Like, we go and do stuff together. But I want like a girlfriend to go with, you know? So I think my son's girlfriend, I think I might start going with her, but the problem is it's been, I don't know, 100 degrees, you know? So 8 o'clock in the morning, it's like 90 degrees. So it's like, why would I want to go to a yard sale tomorrow when it's so freaking hot outside? Like, I can't deal with it, y'all. It's too much. So I've missed that, you know? I've missed yard sales, and they've just now started. I've been seeing like people are just now having yard sales again. So, but yeah, so I miss going and bargain shopping, you know? So I was so happy when I saw that the Salvation Army and the Goodwill opened. I was like, yay. So I spent, let me see, at the Salvation Army, I spent $6, I think. I got all those shirts for me and hubby. It was $6. And then the Goodwill, I think I spent like $6. I didn't get as great of a deal at Goodwill, but I did get the Baltimore Orioles Major League Baseball shirt for so cheap, you know? So I was like, whoa, score. Yeah. Aw, thank you, Tiki Tutu. Thank you. You're so sweet. Oh, no. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. Holy cow, that's crazy. Oh, so as far as making soap and deodorant, I have watched 10 million YouTube videos. I've Googled, I don't know. Let's just say I'm out of printer paper and I'm about to be out of ink. So tomorrow I got to go get some printer paper and ink because that's how much crap I've been printing. Here's the other thing. So hubby and I are on this, what is it called? Go Low. So you eat one carb each meal, but it has to be like a healthy carb, right? So he and I tend to, at breakfast, we'll have an egg, piece of bacon, or an egg, 2 pieces of bacon, and a slice of whole wheat toast. So if you look at the ingredients on the bread, It's horrible. Like, it's horrible. And half the time you buy it, it's not even fresh. Like, it's half stale already. And I grew up with fresh bread every day. I grew up loving fresh bread. Like, can't stand stale bread. So I decided I'm going to start baking all of our bread because it makes more sense. I mean, for me, it makes more sense. So I have to do that this weekend. I have this recipe for whole wheat. It's like whole wheat honey bread. It's an Amish recipe. And yeah. So I think I'm going to make it, it's like 4 loaves. So that's what I need to do in the morning. I need to go get 2 more loaf pans on it. Yeah, so I'm going to start making that and then just like putting it in my deep freeze until I need it. I used to always make, so my mom was like close friends with a lot of Amish people. I have Mennonite people in my family. And so I used to always make the Amish, sweet Amish white bread. Ooh, the stuff is to die for, right? I made a loaf when all the quarantine started. The neighbor across the street, her husband passed away. And so hubby and I kind of try to take care of her. You know, we do stuff for her. I try to cook for her occasionally. We try to help her if she needs anything. I made her a loaf of the bread and she was like, that bread was to die for. And then our next door neighbor on the right of us, her father is living with her. He's not been in the best health recently. He's like 85 or something, 86, something like that. And he's not been in great health. And so every time we turn around, the ambulance is coming to get him and he ends up in the hospital. And so I made her a loaf and she was like, oh my gosh, that was the best bread I've ever had. She's like, I tore through that so quickly. And I said, I know, girl, like, it's a bad thing because hubby and I could probably eat pretty close to an entire loaf in one day. But you have to understand, like, that would be all we're eating. You know, it was like butter bread because it's so good. Oh my God. So I said, okay, get yourself together, girl. We're not making the Amish sweet bread. No. We're going to make whole wheat honey bread. But you know what? You know how the Amish recipes are. They're so, but they're not. But I'm going to try to make it healthy. Like, I think I'm going to use coconut oil. Like, it calls for vegetable oil. I'm going to use coconut oil. It calls for lard. So I was thinking I would try to do butter. Because Crisco, I don't know if Crisco's any better, but I don't know. So I'm going to try to make it like healthy. Like, I have sprouted wheat bread or sprouted wheat flour. So I was going to use that. I don't know. Wish me luck, y'all. I mean, I'm really good at baking though, which is, it's usually it's hard to find a person that's good at cooking and baking, but I'm not trying to brag, but I'm really good at cooking and baking. I am. Sorry guys, I cracked myself up. Good question, Julia. I don't know. I don't know what a giver is. I don't know. Darlene, yes. You know what? When I was there the other day, a lady walked over and she was asking this lady that worked there. She's like, do you have any scrubs? Because I need scrubs for work. And it just so happens, she was like 3 aisles over from me. And then the lady's like, oh yeah, they're right here. And she ended up being like right across from me. And she was like going to town. And she and I started talking across the rack. And she was just like, she's like, you know, a friend of mine at work told me to buy scrubs here. She's like, this is amazing. This is going to save me so much money. And I was like, yeah, no way. And she works in pediatrics. So she found like Mickey Mouse. She found one with Mickey Mouse on it, one with balloons all over it. Yeah, she found some really cute ones. Oh, let me tell you the other thing. So when I was in Salvation Army, okay, so Salvation Army is huge, right? The one here is huge. And I'm in there, I'm minding my own business. I got my mask on, I'm staying socially distanced to the point to where I'll like stop and then just let the person in front of me go, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to be in your space and I don't want you in mine, so let me just stand here, right? So I was constantly stopping and letting people walk by and all that. I go up to this rack and I'm looking through the t-shirts. Excuse me. And this woman walks up, right? She walks up and she's like, you know, flipping through the shirts, right? I'm right next to her, okay? So she's like looking at 5 shirts before me that I just got done looking at, right? And she's like hustling through them and she's like sighing and pissed off. And so I said, okay. So I went down this way, right? I start looking through shirts. She comes right next to me and she's looking at the shirts right next to me, right? So I said, oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. And she looks at me like this and she's like, and I was like, oh no, she didn't do that. Did she just do that to me? She did that to me, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to be the bigger person because she's obviously having a rough day. So I was like, excuse me, ma'am, let me just squeeze by you. And cause you know, gals are like, you're on top of each other, you know? So let me just squeeze by you so you can just look down here. She just stands there. She just stands there like ignoring me, flipping through the t-shirts. So I said, okay. So I walked down, all the way down the aisle, all the way back around and come around in front of her. And do you know, she looks up and goes like this. I was like, what was that look for, right? So of course, you know, nope, I'm going to be the bigger person because she's having a bad day, right? So I walk away. That's right, I walked away. Very few times in life when I can actually say that, but I did walk away, right? Okay, so fast forward, it's probably 20 minutes later. I got all this good stuff in my cart, you know, and I'm feeling pretty good. And I go and I get in line, right? Now, the line's long as you know what. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm a patient person. Well, my hubby wouldn't say that. But like if I'm waiting in line, I'm a patient person. So that same woman walks up, right? And she stands right next to me. And then she stands up a little way like she's in front of me. So I have like 5 people behind me, right? So I'm just like, okay, ignore it. Ignore it, Vic. Just ignore it. Come on, girl, ignore it. Snap out of it. So I'm like trying to think of something else. I'm trying to get distracted. I'm looking around. Yeah. And then I said, so after I'm done looking around, she's standing right on top of me. So I said, excuse me, social distancing? I was like, can you, and she's like, and just stands there. So then the manager, so there's like 3 or 4 people in front of me. So the manager looks up and he sees what's going on. And he was like, ma'am, he was like, oh, we have signs everywhere for social distancing. And he's like, and you should not be in line there because that's not the line. The line is back there. So she gives him an attitude. Right? So he says, ma'am, you need to move to the back of the line or you need to leave. So she throws her crap down and proceeds to leave. After all that shopping, she throws the crap down and leaves, right? So when I get up to the register, the manager's, you know, is the cashier. He's just like, what the heck was wrong with her? Like, he was going off. He was like, do you see her throwing her head around at me? And it was funny. It was funny to me because he mimicked her perfectly. It was funny. And he said, oh, I got her number. He said, because my wife can do that head thing better than she can. It was so funny. Anyways, the manager, he was a really good guy. And he was just like, these people come in here. He's like, it's all I can do not to just, you know, go off on them. But anyway, so I tried to be nice and kind. I try to practice what I preach. But sometimes I get to the point where, y'all, she's just lucky I didn't say more words to her. It was a good thing I didn't say more words to her. Ugh. See, darling, yeah. I know, it's not weird. Why is it that people are either a good cook or a good baker? Like, I don't get that. I was just very blessed because, like I said, my parents were handicapped. And so I learned how to cook when I was really young. And I learned how to bake. And, you know, so I've had years of practice. Darling, that's what it was, girl. Because the shirts that she was looking at, I was looking at. She was a plus size girl. I'm a plus size girl. So I think that's what it is. I think she was pissed because she was like, oh, this lady's right next to me and I want to get the good stuff. That's it. That's exactly what it was. And then, you know, when she threw that stuff down, she had like a stack of shirts. And I'm not kidding you, on hangers, like this many shirts. She threw them all down. Threw them all down. She also, the weird thing was she threw down this bowl, like this big, crap, what do you call it? It's that expensive crystal, right? It was like this lead crystal bowl that was like this tall. And it was like this thick, like thick crystal. And she literally threw everything down. But the bowl didn't break because it bounced on her stack of clothing that she was going to buy. All right. Insane. I know, Ken. They should have said something, but you know what? The little man behind me, he was so sweet. I don't know. He's probably a Korean or Chinese or something. He was so sweet, though. He was just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry she did that. I'm so sorry she did that. He kept saying that to me. And I was like, no, it's not your fault. You don't need to apologize for that woman. She had an attitude. And everybody's so rude. But you know what? Look, I try to practice what I preach. You know, when I say stuff at the end of my videos, like be nice, be kind, I try really hard to do that. Now, with that being said, don't think for a second that I didn't picture myself picking her up and throwing her across the Salvation Army, because I did. And I pictured myself like, after she threw everything down, she was walking out, I pictured myself like picking up that lead crystal bowl and throwing it at her head. So see, I am not without sin. It's still a sin thinking that's even bad, right? But you know, I try. I mean, like, at least I didn't like go off on her, which I felt like doing. Trust me, I really felt like doing it. I know, Ken. I saw that. Like, what is wrong with people? You know, I will say this again. Oh, Ace Beats here. Hey. Hey. I will say this again. Okay. I will say this again. I wear a mask because I care about my fellow human beings, right? So if by chance I'm a carrier of this horrible thing, which I found out that I'm not, I got tested and all that, but if I were a carrier, my mentality was, I'm going to wear a mask to protect you because I care about everybody. I care about other people and I don't want anybody to get sick and die, right? And so I feel like if I'm going to do that for you, why can't you have enough respect and care and kindness for me as a human being to wear a mask, right? And so many people do not wear masks. When I went into the Goodwill the other day, there was a lady standing out front and she was like, you have to have a mask on. You have to keep it on. All sales are final. You cannot return anything. So if you buy it, it's yours. And I was like, okay, thanks, no problem. And then I'm in there walking around. And this woman walks in. I'm near the front of the store. She walks in. She has a mask on. And then I'm walking around a few minutes later, and that woman has her mask, like, down here. And I'm like, lady, just put the stupid mask on, you know? Come on. Look, I know they're hot. I know they're annoying. But it could be worse. Like, you could be dead. You could die because of this, you know? So, and I know there are people out there that say, oh, the coronavirus numbers are jacked up, and the coronavirus isn't real. Well, I happen to know people that are, let me rephrase that. I didn't know him, but I knew of him and he died. And I also have a friend that I grew up with who had a cousin that died from it. So, you know, maybe the numbers are exaggerated. I don't know. I don't deal with the government. I don't deal with the president. I don't deal with the vice president. Like, you know, that's just a part of my life that I can't go there, you know, because it would be too easy. It would just be way too easy for me to just literally be crazy all the time dealing with political crap, you know? So yeah, it's just best if I don't deal with that kind of crap. So yeah, Leah, I feel you. That sounds like something I would do to hubby because he would say something. Ah. And Tiki Tutu, I don't know if you were here when I told my story. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago. I was in Walmart after the pandemic started, and the lines were back through the store. I mean, it was horrible. People were just going crazy. I was in line. I had my mask on. There was this elderly gentleman behind me, and he was funny as crap. He was sitting there keeping me entertained. And, you know, there was like 15 people in front of us in line. Anyway, I sneezed really loud. And, like, I'm not kidding you. That place was so busy and so packed, and people were, like, talking. When I sneezed, it was dead quiet. And I was like, I have allergies. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I don't have any virus. I have allergies. And so the little old man said, well, shoot, honey, you should have done that 20 minutes ago because you just cleared people out of the line doing that. You should have done that earlier. So, yeah. Those weren't his exact words. He said, well, if you would have done that 20 minutes ago, it would have saved us a lot of time. That's what he said. Yeah. He was funny, though. Aw, thanks, Devon. I mean it when I say it, like, but I feel like I say the same thing every time, but that's just me. That's what's on my mind. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I say, you know? Mr. Victoria. Louisiana lady. Hi, by the way. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you because I stayed at home, you know, for a long time. And then I finally just said, you know what? I just got to get out of the stupid house. You know, it just got to the point where I was going crazy, you know, it was just like, I just have to get the heck out of here. And I didn't want to, it wasn't like, I was like, oh, God, I don't want to go to a grocery store. Oh my gosh. So yeah. I don't blame you, Darlene. I mean, I know a lot of people that are like, I'm not wearing a mask. And look, you know, if you're a healthy person and you don't have to worry, good for you. I, on the other hand, have so many health issues that, you know, I can't get sick. Like, I cannot get sick because my fear is that I would die. You know what I mean? And I wish I could see my own, you know, mortality, but I can't. So it's like, oh, I want to bring this up too, by the way. Tamika. There you go, Ken. That's what we need to create, like a sneeze, like a little sneeze box that you can keep in your hand. Yeah, that's what we need to record ourselves sneezing, and we could do it on our phone and then just play it. That would work. So let me just tell you this. So this really, trust me, this really pissed me off. So I get, I get a message from somebody that person says they're really concerned that they went to a psychic and supposedly their friend who had passed over told them that he was going to see him soon. So the psychic gave him a date and told him the day he was going to die. Yeah. He's 20 years old. Okay. His friend died years ago from like childhood cancer. And some stupid, excuse my French, stupid ass psychic, supposed psychic, told him he was going to die and what day it was going to happen. So, of course, you know, he contacts me and he's like, I'm freaking out here. I'm scared to death. You know, what do I do? And I was like, first of all, you're not going to die that day. I don't see you dying anytime in the very near future. We're all going to die someday, but you're definitely not going to die as a 20-year-old man. Like, You don't have anything to worry about. But you know what? It just irked the living shit out of me. Excuse my French. I have a little potty mouth when I'm pissed. I said to him, I'm like, I don't know what so-called psychic you went to see. I said, but there's kind of like an unwritten thing. Let me rephrase that. For me, there's like an unwritten thing, okay? That morally, I cannot sit there and say, oh, you're going to die on this day, okay? Okay, if I see you let's just say I see you getting into a car accident. I would say something like, hey, in the next week, do me a favor and don't drive on so-and-such road. Or don't drive your car this week. Drive somebody else's car. But even if I see you dying, that's not my place to say anything. And I know there are psychics out there that feel different than I do. I did a reading for a guy. I saw that his wife was going to die. Anyway, it was a bad time. And I was trying to explain to this guy, I was trying to explain to him that, when you're like a real psychic, okay, I was trying to be nice. Well, at first I was saying, like, there are a lot of psychics out there that are full of crap. I put that out to him. I said, I know you're young, but there are a lot of psychics that are full of crap. And I said, look, I don't know this person. I don't know this person in particular. I wish I did, because I would be calling her. Because it's just wrong. I mean, this kid, he's been frantic, okay? Exactly what he said to me is he's been frantic for weeks, knowing that he's going to die, like, on this specific date. And it's like the date was coming up, like, a couple days. And he was like, I don't want to die. I don't know what to do. I was just like, yeah. So I said, look, I don't know this person that you went to. I think you wasted your money, though, if you paid this person, and I tried to give him like a real reading, but that just blows my mind. Like, yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. Like, that blew my mind. Like, you can't tell a 20-year-old kid, and I don't care what anybody says, 20 years old is still a kid, My son will be 30 next year, and I still call him a kid. I mean, seriously, like, come on, How could you tell a kid? Like, I could never. And she charged him tons of money. That's the kicker. Not only did she tell him he was going to die and what day he was going to die, but she charged him a shit ton of money. So I was talking to this kid, and he was just like, do I need to pay you? And I was like, no, let me just go with what I'm getting, because I feel bad that somebody did that to you. But it makes real psychics look bad. It makes us look bad. Okay, let me see. Let me try to get caught up, y'all. Why can't I see my own mortality? I don't know, Julia. I can't see if I'm going to die. I can't see if hubby's going to die, my son. Anybody that's like really close to me. I mean, I can see some things, but I can't see like if they're going to die. I don't know. I can't see that. I don't know. That's true, Darlene. People don't stay at home when they're sick, unfortunately. Hi, Shelly. Hey, girl. Tamika, that's how I feel, especially when I get pissed off. Like, and I know it's not ladylike. It's just me. Like, when I get pissed off, I cuss. And trust me, I try really hard not to use the F-bomb, but there are times when I get really pissed and I do use it. But I try really hard not to. Like, I really try. I try to be like really conscious of it, you know? Julia, really? Yeah, because I don't see that for you anytime soon. Louisiana, I can't even talk. Louisiana lady. There we go. Yeah, that would be good to know, I guess. I don't know though. Like, I think for me, based on what I can see and what I, see on a regular basis, I don't know that I would want to know. I don't know that I would want to know. I don't think I would want to know. Because I think it would just eat at me, It's just best if I don't know. Aw, thanks, ACB. You're so sweet. Yeah, I felt so bad for him. Ugh, it was horrible. I know, so I gave the crossfire and my sister. Why did she know she's psychic? I know people assume. I think the biggest assumption that people have, and they'll even leave me messages in the comment section like, well, if you're psychic, what are the lottery numbers? Let me tell you something, fool. If I knew the lottery numbers, do you think I would be sitting here struggling financially? No. Sorry, y'all. That's the sad thing, Julia, is, I mean, okay, so a friend of mine used to go to this psychic, and this psychic, like, filled her head with all this crap. Like, oh, this is going to happen to this guy. Like, major stuff, right? So she comes to me and she's like, look, because, she and I were really close at the time, and she's like, she said this, this, and this, and I'm scared. And of course, the crap that she said, I didn't see anything like that. And I told this person. And of course, 6 months goes by. And guess what? None of the crap that this fake psychic said was going to happen happened. And I said, see, you should have just listened to me. Why did you go spend all this money? Because she went and paid hundreds of dollars to this psychic that she thought was real. And I kept telling her, like, I don't think she's real. I don't think she's real. And then when this person, shared the specifics of what this psychic said to her, I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. People are so stupid. And I mean the psychic, not her, not my friend. Oh gosh, you know what? I totally forgot that I got this the other day. So when I was at Salvation Army, this was $5.99, okay? But then it was like the half price? It was half price. Yeah, I think it was half price. Anyway, so I have a video on my channel about this Celtic cross that hubby and I ended up with, and you have to watch the video. But so I ended up seeing these. So I'm going to put them in my office because I like them. I'm like I just like crosses. I have a Celtic cross tattooed on my arm, and hubby has the same one tattooed on his arm. And, oh gosh, let me tell you a little story. Get a kick out of this one. All right, so my aunt and uncle were living in this old farmhouse from the 1800s. And my aunt had actually grown up in the house as a child. So they bought the house after her parents died, and they raised their 4 kids there. Okay, so my aunt was a Christian, and she was a huge believer in angels because she had a baby that passed away, and she believed in angels. Like, she knew, I won't say this little baby's name because it's a different name, but she knew that this baby was watching over her. She was an angel, right? So she had this whole wall of crosses because she liked crosses and she collected crosses. What's up?
Okay to touch this, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it is now, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hubby just went and got the cross for me. So this is a cross that used to be possessed. it's no more, but I just love like the patina and everything. I just love it. I want to hang it up in here. But anyway, here, honey.
So cool.
Yeah.
But I did not touch this thing forever.
Yeah, he wouldn't touch it because I was like, don't touch the cross, right? Because it was like really bad.
I did give it to my sister.
Oh yeah. So then his sister comes over for a visit and he hands the cross to her and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But unbeknownst to Mark, it was safe at the time. But anyway, so my aunt, huge believer in angels, and so she had a whole wall of crosses. So she goes to work one morning and my uncle gets the kids up and they leave for school and my uncle leaves for work. So my aunt gets a call at work, like a half an hour later. And somebody said, oh my gosh, your house is on fire. Of course, my aunt's like, what? So she calls my uncle and they, separately get in their cars, fly back to their house. And of course, by the time they got there, like, thank goodness, because I guess initially my uncle was going to stay home with two of the kids because they had been sick the night before. But that morning they got up, they felt better, they wanted to go to school. So my uncle went on to work and they went to school. Thank goodness, because who knows. But anyway, so my aunt's devastated, of course. They lost everything, right? So they said like the next day she had to go there with these, claims people from the insurance company. And so it was still smoldering. That's how bad this fire was. But they're going through everything. And my uncle was in Vietnam. And so they're going through everything. And all of a sudden they find his stuff just, was on top of it, had just come from the upstairs down. And it was, everything was burnt. But they find my uncle's chest from Vietnam, filled with all of his awards and all of his pictures. And so thankfully that was safe. So they were, thankful for that. And then they're looking through and, every now and then they'd find like a half burnt picture or something, that they could hold on to. So they walk around the corner, and the way the house was set up, it's kind of confusing, but it's like the main part of the house was here. And then there was a big drop down and there was the other part of the house. So when you're up here on the main part of the house, you can't necessarily see everything that's down on the drop down, right? So they hadn't been over to that part of the property, so they didn't, because it's a big house, right? They hadn't seen that, right? So they're walking through and all of a sudden they go back out, they go around to look at the other side of the house, right? And all of a sudden, my aunt just starts bawling. I mean, hysterical. And my uncle's trying to, hug her and calm her down. She's like, oh my God, look. Her wall, okay? Her wall with all the crosses. I mean, she had probably 75 crosses on this wall. Everything was ruined around, right? It was a miracle that his trunk was okay. And that entire wall was still standing. It was the strangest thing. I saw it with my own eyes. All the crosses were still hanging on the wall. The weird thing was the wall wasn't even like, it wasn't like, oh, this whole side was burnt and this whole side was burnt and it wasn't like that. Like you couldn't see the burn marks. That was a bizarre thing. And it's just this wall standing there with all these crosses and there was no soot on it, nothing. Like she was taking her crosses down. They were fine. True story. So I've always liked crosses, and so when I saw this pack, I was like, oh, yeah, get that. I mean, of course, I would love antique crosses, like the one that I saved from the antique show, but these aren't antique, obviously, but I still like them, so I was so excited to get them. I was like, woohoo, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ken, that J.E. dude, he's just psychic. Yeah, psycho, sorry. I was reading it. Yeah, I don't bring him up very often because he will come through. He'll try to come through. Y'all, I gotta get sugar-free Werther's. I want a Werther's. Okay. Yep. Very true, Ken. That's good advice to Julia. Don't worry about anything in the future. bottom line is whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And, you know, Ace B, yeah, there was a demon attached to that cross. So I'll tell the story really quick. But you can watch the video too, but so hubby and I went to this indoor antique show. You know, it was at the Expo Center, 2-day thing. You go, you pay out the wazoo to get in there. You know, it's huge, right? So we go to the very beginning, and hubby's like, why don't you put your hands on something, touch something, and see what you get? Because I can do that. Like, I can go up to a historic building, and I can touch the wall, and I can see stuff that happened before. So I was like, okay. So he points to that cross. He's like, why don't you touch that? And so I touch it. The second I touched it, it was like, you know, like, oh my God. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And he was like, Jamie, Christmas, the first thing I tell you to touch in this, you know, I was like, so the place was like packed. So I said, okay, I need to get my bearings because it took a lot out of me, right? You know, it scared the crap out of me too. So we walk over, we get like a drink and we sit down, and I just kept staring at that cross. And I said to hubby, I said, I can't leave that cross here. I can't. I said, I need to go negotiate with the guy that owns it. Because I was scared to death. I was like, if I leave that here and somebody buys it, they're going to take that demon home with them. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh my God, that could like really destroy somebody. So I was like, okay, I know I'm strong enough. I mean, look, I'm not all that, y'all, but I felt like I was strong enough to deal with it, you know? So I was like, okay, I would feel so much better. I'll just take it. So I sat there just watching as I'm drinking the drink and we're talking. I'm watching to make sure nobody picks that cross up, right? So I get up, I go over and I said, do you know anything about this cross? And he's like, no. He said something stupid like, no, it's for sale though. I was like, And I said, you don't know anything about it? He was like, no, I actually don't. And I was like, okay, well, I need to buy it. So you need to give me a good deal. So I don't know. I think at first he came up with some asinine number. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. No, I don't think so. So I got him down. I don't know. Probably you might remember. I think I paid like $20 or something. I don't know. It was, you know, it was very reasonable. It wasn't, I didn't want to spend $20 on it. You know, I didn't want to spend a dime on it, but I didn't want somebody else to take it home, you know? Hey, Andy, how are you? Yeah. Okay, Louisiana lady. When you predict something, is it set in stone or can things change? Okay, so you know we all have free will. So there have been times, me personally, I don't know if it's every psychic's like this. Me personally, though, there have been times when I've seen something, but I've been able to say to the person, hey, this is what I see. So basically what I'm saying to them is, look, this is what I see, but you can change this, okay? And it's like minor things, right? And they have been able to change things. So I don't know. I don't understand it. Look, y'all, I don't understand my gifts half the time. I don't know why I have them. I don't know, you know, my husband is the most amazing human being that ever walked the face of the earth. You know, so a lot of times I feel like, why doesn't he have these gifts? You know what I mean? Because he's such a good person and he has such a good heart. But I don't know how my gifts work. I mean, I know how they work, kind of, sort of, but yeah, I don't have all the answers. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. So in answer to your question, I guess I really don't know. I think there are times when we can change things. I think we can change our destiny. But I don't know, you know, like if it pertains to something major, I don't think we have control over it. You know what I mean? So yeah. It is amazing about the crosses, isn't it, Shelley? It was, yeah. I heard that things can change even after prediction. And yeah, you know, I think you're right. Like, I think I know for me, when I predict things, sometimes that does happen. And yeah, worrying does make me ill. Trust me. I have gotten to the point, there are times when I would get myself so worked up over a case, like I'd be so concerned and so into it that I couldn't sleep. Of course I could eat because, I'm a big girl and I can eat, but I couldn't sleep. I couldn't function. Like, it just really bothered me. So yeah. Oh yeah, Ken, I saw his museum. Let me tell you, like, I never really have liked Zach Baggins. I respect him for what he does, and he's opened up so many doors for paranormal, people and for people like me. So I respect him for that. I don't know. I just feel like he kind of comes off so cocky, but a lot of that I think is just for TV. So in all honesty, I could see he and I hitting it off and being friends, but because I do think it's probably for TV. You know what I mean? I think he'd be a pretty cool dude, actually. But I just never had, really thought very highly of him. But then when I take a step back and think about it, probably is just for TV. You know how they make everything look so exaggerated. Aw, thanks, Louisiana. Shelly, I was talking about that earlier. I've always had it, but I remember specifically when I was 8. And I'm not sure why that age, because I remember before that. I mean, this is the strange thing. I can remember being with my dad in the backyard of the house that I was born in when I was 2. I mean, I have memories back to 2 years old, which is so bizarre, but yeah. Hey, Debbie Raleigh, how you doing, girl? Oh my gosh, let me tell you too. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is just for show. I think you're right on. Y'all, okay, so I took some notes here, people. I like my notes. Hold on, don't take a sip. Okay. This is a question I have. Okay, so I was in a horribly abusive marriage before this hubby. I have a video about it. It was a bad time in my life. Anyway, because I was abused, I don't just put the psychic part of me aside, right? If I see another woman that's abused, I can spot it right away, right? Maybe it has to do with being psychic, but I don't think it does. I think it's when you've been abused, you just notice that you can see it, right? So that's the question I had. Suzanne Morphew. So, I said last week, I still feel like hubby's involved. She's gone. I feel like, he had started talking to someone. I don't know if he was actually actively having an affair with someone, but I feel like he had started talking to someone, and I feel like Suzanne knew. I feel like she knew. But I was thinking about, I can't shake that she was being abused. I don't know why I can't shake that feeling. And it's not the psychic side of things. I don't know how to explain it, but that's my question to you. Do you think that she was abused? What do y'all think? Do you think, oh my gosh, how can I not mention this? Holy crap. Okay. All right, y'all, the other day came and went, and guess what? Lori and Chad Daybell are still in jail. The world didn't end. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine? I could just imagine at a 12:01 at midnight, Lori and Chad going, nothing happened. Oh my gosh. So sorry, but you know, I wonder what I wish. I wish. No, I don't. Well, kind of. Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of wish I could connect with them right now. I kind of wish, even though they're so evil that I probably wouldn't want to connect with them, but I kind of wish maybe I should try. Because, I mean, I wonder what they're thinking. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, because they were convinced that the world was going to end. So that's why Lori sat in jail all this time and, you know, would just laugh, you know, and smile and be a dipshit, you know, while her kids were buried in Chad's backyard, you know, because her thinking was, oh, it's not going to matter because the world's going to end because Chad said so, you know. And, you know, I've been thinking more and more about it, and I think I was wrong before about something that I said. You know, I said that Lori had lost it. And then when Chad met Lori, he lost it as well. I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. No. I think he's a freaking psychopath. And I think he used this, I can see the veil on the other side bullshit, excuse my French, but getting pissed. He used that to sit there and like flirt with women and pick up on women. While his poor wife was at the library working her ass off every day while he's out messing around trying to find women to talk to him about his little portal, you know, and about how, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I can see the future and I can see the other side of the veil and all this other crap that he blew up everybody's ass and made them believe, you know, excuse my French, I'm sorry. So no, I was wrong. I was wrong. No, he was psychotic. He was psychotic before he met Lori. Lori was her own kind of crazy, and I think together they were just really off their rockers, like really off their rockers. Which leads me into the next thing that I want to say. And I'm thinking I might do a video on this. Okay. So I was able to see Tylee Ryan, Lori's daughter that she killed. I couldn't see JJ, but I saw Tylee. She looks amazing, you know. But here's the one interesting thing. I don't want to go into everything that was said and all that, but I saw her. She was with a little girl. And the little girl was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. The little girl looked a lot like Tylee. She resembled Tylee. So my question is, I wonder if Tylee's dad, last name was Ryan, I wonder if he had a child with someone else and the child passed, or is this Lori's child? Did she, you know, have a child that passed? Because this little girl looks like Tylee. She's even like kind of chubby, you know, chubby cheeks. And yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I may try to figure that out more. But yeah, it kind of blew me away because just out of the blue, I was able to see Tylee. And, you know, she was with this little girl. And yeah, I don't know. No, it's weird. Okay, let's see. Do you think cloning is real and occurring? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I haven't really tried to, like, see what I get about it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try this week, see what I get. If I get, I'm not really getting anything about it now, but. Shelly, who are you talking about, honey? You think she will be found? Who are you talking about, babe? Bestest mom. Hey, girlfriend. You know what? Me too. Me too. I wish I could have been in that jail cell. I probably, you know, thinking back at midnight, I probably should have tried to connect with Lori or him. But like I said, like, there's a part of me, because I connected with that J.E. dude and because I connected with Charles Manson, like there's a part of me that was like, it's probably best if I don't try to connect with her or him, you know? But I would have loved to have been there to see their expression. Like they're sitting there looking at the one. No, they don't have watches, do they? They're sitting there looking at the clock. 12 o'clock, 12:01. We're in big trouble, Chad. Holy shit. The world didn't end. Yeah, I can see that now. And they are too stupid. Mrs. Worst, how are you? Okay, so you feel like he's an abusive womanizer. Okay, good. Okay. We are in tune, Festus. That's funny. Yeah, Darlene. Damn, I'm so sorry you went through that. But I understand. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Trust me. Shelly, you know what? I actually put down Tammy Daybell. She's on my list. Actually, maybe I will try to connect with her and do that this week. Yeah, Mrs. Words, I know, isn't it? It is full of shit. I agree. Thanks, Shelly. Yeah. Really, Lori? Hi, Lori. Somebody else saw a younger girl with Tylee? That's so bizarre. Yeah. Yeah, because I had not seen this little one. Like I didn't see it. I didn't see her. I didn't know anything about her. And then all of a sudden Tylee popped up and then this little girl was there and I was like, wow. So I didn't know if maybe, wasn't her dad's name like Thomas Ryan? I didn't know if he had a child with someone that passed. Because I will tell you, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was actually seeing a child around someone. And so I said, you know, did you lose a child? And the person, in fact, had an abortion. You know, and she went on to tell me like how horrible she felt about it, you know, through the years. And, you know, I was like, oh, you got to forgive yourself. Come on, you know. And, but yeah, I was able to see the child. And so, you know, if a child dies as a result of an abortion or a miscarriage, you know, I'm going to be able to see that, you know what I mean? Like, so, but I was just blown away when this little girl was with Tylee. Like, I was like, oh, wow. I just wasn't expecting that. I mean, oh, yeah, about Suzanne being found. Yeah, yeah. I don't think so, Ken. I think it was actually Lori or her dad's child that passed. I really do. Yeah, I kept feeling that it was a child that passed. Like, yeah. Yeah, you know, the whole Suzanne Morphew thing is just killing me because I said this before, like, I hope I'm wrong. You know, like when I said that, oh, the kids could be buried on a family member's property and, you know, Chad's now related, so it could be on Chad's property. You know, I hope that I'm wrong, but I really feel that Barry Morphew was part of it. Like, I kept seeing deceit, like lots of deceit. I kept seeing like dollar signs, had something to do with money, deceit. And I kept feeling like he was with somebody else. But I didn't feel like he was like in the throes right then and there of a full-blown affair. I felt more like it was something that was just getting started. So I don't know. Yeah, Joseph Ryan. That's right. You're right, hon. Wow, Ken. His daughters have lawyered up in a different lawyer than he had. What does that tell you? That's pretty pathetic. Oh, okay, sure. I can find my... Y'all, look. This is my book, and it's like a stuffed. I'm not kidding. I probably have, like, look, let me show you. So I have pages and pages and pages of names to do. I have lots to do. But I'll always take suggestions. I don't care. Like, I will always, Elizabeth Baran, what is it? Baraza. Hubby's gonna make me a database, because I'm always like, somebody will give me a name and I'll write it down, and then later I'm like, oh, I already had that name on here, you know? So he's gonna do like a database for me so that I don't have to sit here and keep looking up. I can just plug the name in, and if it's there, it's there. Yeah, Joseph Ryan, yeah. There you go, Darlene. That's the kind of spirit to have. Hey, Cindy. What's up, girl? Yeah, it could be. It could be an aborted child. Definitely. I mean, I know Lori considered herself, quote, religious. So I don't know if she would have had an abortion. I don't know. I mean, just because you're religious doesn't mean you're not, you know what I mean? People have abortions, but so, you know, who knows? She may have, or she may have had a miscarriage. I don't know. There you go, Darlene. Mrs. Worst, that's what I said. Like, hello, you know, why are the police not saying, hey, here's a picture, this is how much she weighs, this is how tall she is, this is the color of eyes she has, we're looking for her, can you help us? See, that right away, you don't have to be a psychic to be like, the police aren't saying that they're looking for her, they're not out there trying to get, you know, people. Now, they did give a tip line, but that was at the very beginning. So I feel really confident, just like with the Gannon Stout case. I felt really confident that they already knew what had happened with Gannon Stout. And I said that before they even came out and had arrested her. I said that. I was saying that from the beginning. And I feel like with Suzanne Morphew, yeah, I feel like they know a lot more than what they're saying. And think about it. They took the time to go to a place where Barry Morphew had worked a job and tore up the concrete to look in there. Why do you think that is? You know what I mean? They wouldn't just randomly, with social media the way it is today, they knew daggone good and well that somebody was going to spot them there. And it was going to get all over social media that, hey, they're digging up a place. They think, you know, they're looking for Suzanne Morphew sifting through concrete. So they know a lot more than what they're saying. That's for sure. Oh, Mrs. Worst, you best believe your butt. I would be the same way. I would be on top of every reporter I could find, every channel I could find, every podcast I could find. I would be there with pictures saying, please find my loved one. You know, trust me, I would be too. And for him to say the first week, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon. I mean, what do you mean it's too soon, you jackass? Your wife's missing. You know? Yeah. It's on my damn nerves. Hey, Cindy. I love your Friday Night Live. Thanks. I like my Friday Night Lives too. I like just hanging out, you know, to relax, you know. Trust me, I don't get a lot of time in my life to emotionally relax, to like defuse. So these Friday nights, you know, it's kind of my time to kick back and relax and, you know, not have to like do a reading and don't get me wrong. I am not complaining about doing readings. Trust me. I love my gifts. I'm blessed to have them, but it's nice every now and then to not have to do a reading and just to be able to relax. You know, I like to have some downtime. Yeah. Thanks, Darlene. He is a good helper. If y'all only knew what an amazing human being Mr. Victoria is. He is the best thing that ever happened to my life. And then the next best thing were the kids. But he came at a point in my life when I was lost and I had been in an abusive marriage and I didn't trust men. I swore men off on a Friday night and I met him Saturday morning. It was the strangest thing. But, you know, it was meant to be. Like, you know, everything happened for a reason. His family was in another state for a family reunion. He was here, you know, bored by himself, hanging out. And I went to watch a couple of my friends in a bowling tournament. And I see this guy and we made eye contact and he kept looking at me and my face was getting beet red and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, you know, because I was not interested in being in a relationship. And yeah, he's changed my life in so many ways. You have no idea. Like, you know, he made me be able to fall in love and, you know, to see love and to feel love and to know that it's okay to be loved and, you know, that you don't have to get your butt beat, you know, because there was a part of me that felt for a long time like, well, he's just, you know, if I would have just kept my mouth shut, he wouldn't have had to beat me up. That's the way I felt about my ex-husband. Like, you know, well, he beat me up because he's tired. He's working so many hours, you know, and it was hard for me to be okay with feeling love and accepting it and with nothing attached. You know what I mean? Like, hubby wasn't like asking me for anything other than my love in return. And yeah. So he's been amazing. He's an amazing human being. Okay, let's see here. Shelley, yeah, the Delphi murder. I need to do that. Maybe I'll try to do like another reading because I do want to connect with the other little girl. What do you mean, Lori? What in the public wants to know if they're in danger? Yeah, thanks, Mrs. Worst. I was spot on with Gannon, but you know, I've said this before. Not something that I wish I was right on. You know what I mean? Like finding JJ's bodies in Chad's yard. Wish I were wrong. I wish they were still alive, you know? I mean, but then again, oh, bye, Debbie. Bye, Raw. Love you, girl. There's a giant poster in the local grocery store of Suzanne. Set up Suzanne Morphew. Friday nights are fun, Arlene. Tessa, hey Tessa. No, hubby, you saved me. There you go, Ken. Very true. Aw, Lori, I'm glad you have an awesome husband. They're hard to come by nowadays, you know? Aw, thanks, Tamika. You're so sweet. I love you, girl. I love you. He's, you know, he's a very, yeah, he's very calming for me too. Like if I'm in a stressful situation or if I'm sad, like when my mother passed away and, you know, I don't, because look, it doesn't matter if I had this gift or not. When my mom and my dad passed away, it was horrible, you know? So I couldn't have gotten through it without him. Like he, such a rock, you know? And then his stepdad passed away, his mom passed away, and his stepdad passed away, you know, and he's just such a strong human being. He has been through so much BS in his lifetime, you know, he's been through stuff and he's a strong person. I was living close to the Morpheus, I'd want to know if the public would be here. Lori Miller. Thank you. Like, I would say the same thing, you know? I would want to know the same daggone thing if I lived in that area. Okay, is there some psychotic killer out there that's going to abduct me next? You know? I mean, why aren't the people in the town saying that? You know? Like, all right, do they just... I mean, do they suspect that Mary did something with her? Is that why they're not causing an uproar and uprising, trying to find out if they're safe or not? Because I sure as the heck would. I mean, I would definitely stand up and be like, look, I think I have a right to know. I pay taxes in this town. I think I have a right to know if there's some psycho killer on the loose, you know? Yeah, that would bug me. Oh no, Louisiana lady. Oh, that sucks. That's like the lowest of lows, you know? Best as his mom, I agree with you, girl. I've said this before. God forbid if something happened to hubby tomorrow, I would be alone the rest of my life. Because I've had such a good love with him that nothing and no one could ever compare to that. So why bother, you know? Aw, Tamika. Aw, I'm so glad she's a blessing to you. They're hard to come by. You know, those of us that have good spouses, they're really hard to come by. You know, I do not feel good for people that are single nowadays. You know, it's just so hard out there. I just can't even imagine, like in today's day and age, having to go and start dating somebody. No, thank you. I'll die alone. Thank you very much. You know. Oh, okay. Who asked me that? Shelly. Okay, Shelly. So, y'all, I'm trying to get through this mess, but look, I have so many meetings I'm working on. I never did finish Skylar Niece. I mean, I finished it. I just haven't done the video yet because it's such a complicated story. And then the Dyatlov Pass, 9 people, the hikers that died. That's another like time-consuming long one, you know? But it's a really like interesting one. Trust me. Okay, Nora Kieran. I have to do hers. Haley Cummings. I did Janice Pocket. Why is she still on here? And then I haven't connected to do a reading like of a famous person, but I think I might do Robin Williams this week. Although I tried to connect with him a few weeks ago and I wasn't able to. So I'm going to try one more time with him. I may have to put him on like the hold list. Yeah. So yeah, I've got tons I can do. I just haven't, you know, trust me, I have pages and pages and pages of people I can do. Yeah, I wanted to do, okay, so I don't know if y'all have heard about it, but they're called the Shenandoah murders. They happened in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. So my goal was, back in like November and December, was, you know, come this spring, hubby and I were gonna go out there, get a hotel room. I was gonna interview the park rangers, hoping I could talk to the park ranger that found their bodies. And then all this COVID crap happened and they shut down the Shenandoah Valley was shut down. And so I haven't been able to do that one. I really want to do that one though. They were a young lesbian couple and really good people. And gosh, it's just sad. It's just a sad story. So I really want to like, because it's close to me. Well, it's not close, but you know, I can drive to it and do that. I want to do this couple justice, you know, because they deserve that at the very least, you know. I think they had a lot of issues with outside people because they were lesbians, and that just pulled on my heartstring, you know. Because of who you choose to love, you're treated bad. Like, that's the same thing as when I was a little kid and I was fat and I got bullied, you know. How can you bully somebody because of who they love? Like, who the heck are you? You know what I mean? Yeah, so I really want to do justice for their memories, and so I'm gonna try to do that. If this COVID crap keeps up, I may just have to do it without going out there and all that. But I kind of wanted to do something special like that, but COVID-19 happened, so yeah. Oh, what else? Festus's mom, I agree with you. There you go, Julia. Oh my gosh, Ken, you're so funny. Yeah, you know what? I was probably one of those stupid people that came in here last week acting like a moron. Isn't that the truth, Louisiana lady? There are so many people in this world. I would rather be with my cat and my dog than to have to deal with them. The worst thing my cat and dog can do is like poop where they're not supposed to or something, you know? Come on. Ken, you're so cute. Thank you for taking your job serious. I appreciate you so much. I don't know how to remove the dislike button. Hubby might. I don't know. I don't know how to. Okay. It is so hot in here, y'all. Like, my hair is soaked. These lights are so hot. Oh, Pat, hey, yeah, so he's a lot better. I actually saw him today. He had pancreatitis, and they think it's because of the medicine that he's on. But I guess today was like the first day, so you know, we got sick like Monday last week. Went to the ER on Friday. We went to the ER. I think we went to the ER first time on Tuesday, and then again on Friday. They finally figured out what it was. He said today was the first day that he actually wasn't in a lot of pain and he felt decent to where he could try to eat something normal. So yeah, he's just, hopefully it's just the medication that he's on. I was saying like, he's been clean and sober for years and he used to have a problem with depression. And so years ago, they put him on this medication for depression. And, you know, he's not liking being on it. He's like, you know, he doesn't think he needs it. And I think he should definitely switch medications. But my concern is I don't want him to go off of that medication and have to deal with depression, you know, because it's a very real thing and it scares me. You know, his best friend committed suicide and, you know, that's the last thing that I would, God. So, yeah, so he's like, oh, I just want to get off of it altogether. And I'm like, well, maybe that's not such a great idea. Maybe you should let your doctor wean you off of this and put you on something that's not as strong. Because part of the problem, too, is that he's lost a lot of weight. He's never been overweight. He's always been, like, very, you know, he was on AAU baseball team. I mean, he had it made. He was an amazing pitcher. He's an amazing baseball player. Even to this day, he still has his arm. He can still pitch, like, 90-some miles an hour. Yeah, so he's never been overweight. He's always been healthy. but he had lost, I don't know, 20 pounds probably. You know, and when you're on medication, if you lose 20 pounds, that's a lot of weight, you know, and so then the dose can be too high. And he had upped the dose several years ago. The doctor said, oh, let's up the dosage because he wasn't sleeping at night. And so they upped the dosage. Well, now I think because he lost that little bit of weight, I think it's too much. And it's a strong medication. Like, I didn't like him being on it from the beginning, but I also knew that depression was a very real thing for him. And I was concerned that, you know, I didn't want to fight what he was, you know, I didn't want to fight him on it because I didn't want him to get depressed and hurt himself. And I felt like that was a real possibility at that time. So, yeah. And, you know, unfortunately, 2 years ago, hubby was out of town for business. And so my son's best friend was in the Marine Corps. He was miserable. His wife had left him. They had a son. And he was miserable. And he had relapsed and he was drinking like crazy. Well, he called my son, and it was my son said, you know, it was a really strange conversation. Like, they had not had a conversation like that before. And to the point to where my son called me and said, Mom, I had the weirdest conversation. You know, I don't know why he was talking. Wow, no signal. Can you guys see me still? It says I have no signal. Mark? Debbie? Hello? Hubby? That's very, very strange. I have no signal.
Well, they can hear you.
Oh.
Just, I think you need to say goodbye because the battery went dead, I think.
Wow, crap. All right, y'all. So let me finish telling you the story really quick. He calls me, says, Mom, I had a weird conversation with him. I don't know what's going on. The next day, we get a phone call that he had been found dead. He had shot himself. So my son never dealt with it. He never dealt with it. So he got really, really depressed a couple years ago. Hubby was out of town for work. You know, my son called and said, Mom, I'm having a hard time. I feel like this, and this. And I said, oh, heck no. I went and picked him up and I drove him to the emergency room. And he, you know, was admitted for a few days in the psych ward. And anyway, they got him back on this medication. That's what it was 2 years ago. So he went off of it for like a year. But he never dealt with his best friend dying, you know, taking his life. So, yeah. So it kind of finally, like, it put things into perspective for him. And he was able to, you know, with counseling, he was able to work through it, you know. Oh, thanks, Eddie. No, he's doing great. He's doing great. He's come so far, you know, and staying clean and sober and just kicking ass. And, you know, he's still going to school, taking his classes online right now because, you know, the colleges aren't open. But he's doing good. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to get off of here. Hubby's saying the battery ran out. I don't know what he's talking about, but
I have a 4 hour, I got a battery that lasts for 4 hours if it's 100% full, and it wasn't 100% full. It was 50%.
You're slacking.
2 hours is good, guys.
You're slacking.
2 hours is good.
You're slacking. He's slacking, y'all. You hear him? He's over here slacking.
All right, it won't happen again.
I'm gonna crack that whip when I get off of here, y'all.
Oh, shit.
Hey, you guys, I had a blast. Bye, ASB. Margaret, thank you, love. I love you so much, and you take your job so seriously. I love that about you. Thank you so much. Let's see, it's Mika, Cindy, Pat, Louisiana lady, Shelly. Did I forget anybody? CPO Snarky, hey. You too. Have a great weekend, y'all. I love you guys, and I had so much fun. Take care, guys. Bye. Well, maybe not bye. I don't know how to get out of here. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, bye, guys. Bye, Tamika. Happy weekend. Love you guys.